morning, everyone. Hope you're all doing great. Welcome to the first session of your Strategic Business Leader. Now, before I introduce the subject, allow me to very briefly introduce myself. I am your mentor, your trainer for the SBL subject, Shilpi Jain, ACCA. I qualified my ACCA back in 2009. And ever since then, I have been associated with various trainings of ACCA. This particular paper, if I talk about, I have been teaching this paper ever since the paper was actually launched, because previously it was two different papers. For those of you who don't know, it used to be two different subjects in the form of P1 and P3. But then in 2019, ACCA merged these two subjects and prepared this new subject called Strategic Business Leader. Now, why I told you this is to make you understand that this particular subject is, as it is, literally like got two subjects content in it. So yes, it is very, very exhaustive in itself. You need to be prepared, you need to be in the mindset to go for it from the very first day. You have to listen to the advice which I am giving you from the very first day itself. Why? Because we literally have 2.5 months to prepare ourselves for not just one, but basically two subjects. SBL paper is unlike any other ACCA paper. Any of you have given any other ACCA paper so far? Let me know in the chat box, please. So what, the way I want the classes is to be very, very interactive. So it will not just be me talking. I want everyone, each one of you to be interacting with me. Drop in your queries, drop in your messages in the chat box so that I can read them out for everyone else as well. And then that is where your maximum learning is going to be. SBL is a theoretical paper per se with little bit of number crunching. So very important for you to get into the groove of, answering from day one itself. Very important for you to be able to understand that this is, not just me going to be teaching, but you going to be understanding and reciprocating what you have understood as well. Application of your technical content is what I'm going to stress upon from day one itself. So let's quickly have a look at the chat box. Okay. Okay, so that's wonderful to know that most of you have already done, one ACCA paper already at least. This is like not your first paper really. So now what I want you to understand that despite the fact that you have given an ACCA exam, despite the fact that you're already familiar with the CBE platform on which the exam will be given, SBL paper is something which is going to be very, very different. So yes, even though you have some bit of experience in terms of an ACCA exam or the platform on which the exam will be taken, you have to prepare yourself for the SBL paper right from today itself. So Ekta and Romi says that this is your first paper, and also for Anju as well, Ayush as well. Okay. So I believe all of you have come via the exemptions route, and you must be either qualified CAs or part qualified CAs with additional exemptions on you. But believe you me, since this is your first ACCA paper, this is the most difficult ACCA paper that you can, ever think of. Why? There are many, many reasons about it, because this is a very unique paper in itself. Yes, so like I said, most of you are qualified CA or CA finalists, and thus you've got those exemptions on you. So this being your first ACCA paper. So please listen to me. I'm not trying to intimidate you with the paper, with, what the content is going to be like, but I'm just trying to prepare your mindset so that you know that from today itself, you have to be religious. You have to be diligent in your studies for your SBL paper. In the past, I have had all India rank holders for SBL paper, and this is what I endeavor, that each one of my students not only just passes, but also secures a rank in the SBL paper. And this very much is possible if you listen to what I'm saying, if you follow what I'm saying. So, these are going to be like 5-hour sessions, right? So please don't take it as one boring lecture. No, that is not what my endeavor is. I will make absolutely every possible effort to make this a very engaging session for you, a very interactive session for you, a very knowledgeable session for you. SBL is, one subject which is actually very, very interesting. It's very practical in the sense that you can literally apply, real life business case studies to the paper and look at and understand, concepts. So I will be showing you various examples of companies like McDonald's, of Coca-Cola, of Netflix, just to make it more real life for you, just to make it more, applicable for you. So please come to the live sessions. That is where the learning is going to be maximum, because not only will you be, sitting and studying live with me, but you will also be able to ask your queries live with me as well. One more thing I want to make clear before we actually introduce the subject is that please ask doubts. I'm absolutely, more than happy to repeat concepts. I'm absolutely more than happy to provide more examples of concepts. But what I don't want to do is go ahead with the concept unless it is 100% clear with the entire class. So I will keep on asking them, if you have doubts, if you've understood, please, let me know. Please do not feel shy to, to tell me that you probably have not understood. Please do not feel shy to tell me to repeat a concept. I will be more than happy to do so. The endeavor here is that you should be able to understand the concept. You should be able to apply the concept and thus be able to pass your SBL paper. Right? So far, so good. Any queries? Anything anybody would like to ask so far? Please drop in your queries in the chat box. Okay, yep. A lot of students have got this as the first exam. Dipali, I would really encourage you to send across your messages to everyone in the chat box and not just directly to me, so that everybody, reads what you're saying, is able to probably understand your query as well, because that could very well be their query as well. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dipali. Okay, wonderful. So now let's just very quickly begin with understanding what we are heading into. So for those of you who have already given an ACCA exam, and for those of you who have, this is like the first exam, let me tell you one thing very, very bluntly, really, that SBL paper is the most difficult paper of the entire ACCA curriculum. It is the most unique paper of the entire ACCA curriculum. This is going to be a 4-hour-long exam, which is going to be like 240 minutes, unlike the usual 3 hours that we have for our ACCA exams. It's going to be 4 hours. Now, why do you think ACCA is providing you like 1 additional hour just for the SBL paper? Yes, believe you me, even these 4 hours, you will find that, literally I had like limited time. Why? Because the exam itself is going to run into one integrated case study, which if I actually print, it is going to run into at least 12 pages long scenario, which means you are going to be provided with one single case study on the basis of which your entire 100 marks of questions are going to be based. Obviously, so this, itself sounds very difficult, if I may just put it like that, one scenario, and based upon that one scenario, the entire 100 marks of the questions are going to be framed. But yes, you have to understand that these entire marks are going to be broken down into various exhibits in the question paper itself. And the questions are also going to be, broken down into different tasks. Each task is going to be concentrating upon one section of the scenario. Obviously, basic information is going to come from the entire scenario. But yes, more or less, if I talk about it, you will be able to, apply one concept, probably is displayed, the information of which is displayed in like one exhibit, and you should be able to apply that knowledge for the models that you will be learning in this paper with the concepts that you will be learning in this paper, and thus apply it to the scenario and then write down your answers. The 100 marks paper itself is going to be broken down into 80 technical content marks, which is basically like, being able to apply your models, your concepts that you will be learning in the class, you will be able to apply that to the scenario. Now, remember what I'm saying here. I'm not saying that you will be awarded these 80 technical marks for telling the examiner that these are the models that you've learned in the class. No, you will not be awarded any marks for that. But you will be awarded marks for being able to apply those models to the scenario which is being given to you, and thus that will help you gain those 80 technical content marks. With that also come 20 professional skills marks, which is very much a part and parcel and clubbed with these 80 technical content marks. 20 technical, 20 professional skills marks are going to be dependent upon how you have written for your 80 technical content marks, how well you've presented your answer. Have you been able to communicate, display your communication skill, which was actually asked in the professional skills marks? Have you been able to display your, analysis skill to the examiner? So there will be 5 professional skills that you will need to understand and display for every task separately. And those professional skills will be marked separately based upon how you have written and what you have written for your 80 technical content marks. So they are related, but also awarded separately for it. So that is again something which is unique for the SBL paper. Well, like every other ACC exam, for your SBL paper also you need 50 marks to pass. So out of 100, you only need a 50% to pass your SBL paper. But believe you me, even getting this 50 becomes a challenge if you are not thorough with your concepts, if you are not able to apply your concepts to the scenario which has been given to you, if you're not able to display to the examiner the professional skill which has been tested. So that is something which is very important. It was going to be, like I already mentioned, a very, very long scenario, minimum 12 to 14 pages long if I actually, start taking a printout of it. All questions are going to be based on the same scenario. Emphasis is going to be on the combination of technical as well as professional skills marks. Very important. Technical 80 plus 20 professional go hand in hand. Read, retain, reproduce. The 3 R's, which you probably have been doing in your CA exams or BCom exams or school studies, whatever you're coming, whichever background you're coming from, is not going to work for SBL paper. It is just not going to click because, just being able to vomit out what you have learned, what you've understood in the book or the classes is not going to help you, pass your paper. What is going to help you is that if you are able to apply that knowledge to the scenario which has been given to you. So XYZ company which has been given to you, how is, say, Potter's 5 forces model applicable to XYZ company which has been given to you? So application is going to be the key word here, right? Okay with everyone? Any doubts so far? Any doubts, guys? Please let me know in the chat box, a yes or a no. I would really appreciate if you start talking to me. No, all good. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for the confirmation, guys. Right. Now, what I want you to do from today itself is log on to your, yes, I am coming over to that, don't worry, is to log on to your My ACC account. There are 3 E's which you need to complete for your ACA journey, right? The 13 exams that you have. The second is your experience of 36 months. And the third is your EPSM module. It's a 20-hour online training program, which is charged, I think, around £63 from ACCA. That is something which you have to do to become an ACCA member eventually, right? But what I want everybody to do is to complete this EPSM module, this 20 hours of online training program, before you book for your SBL paper. So if you are planning to appear for your SBL paper, say in September, you have to make sure that even before you book your exam, you finish off this EPSM module from your My ACCA account. Is that okay with everyone? Does everybody agree upon doing that? Because why I'm stressing so much upon it is that ACCA has also very categorically mentioned that students who have completed their EPSM module before sitting for the SBL paper have a higher probability of clearing the SBL paper. So take it as part of your preparation of your SBL paper. The 20 hours of your ethics and professional skills module, the EPSM module, is something that you have to start from today and finish off before you book your ACCA exam, your SBL exam. And if you have not done it, please don't book your SBL exam. I am very, very blunt about what I want my students to do. Why? Because I want you to pass. And how I will make sure that you will pass is that when you listen to me. So if you listen to me, you follow my advice, I will make sure that you are able to pass. Romy, you will be able to find it on your My ACCA account. So just log on to your My ACCA account. There will be a separate tab showing for your ethics and professional skills marks. Professional skills module, right? Okay. Now I have completed my EPSM some time back. Should I revisit it before the exam? No need, Saksham. If you've already done it, that's just already a great start towards your SBL paper. No need to revisit it. You already have the background-based knowledge, which I want everybody to have to prepare for the SBL paper. So that's just well done, Saksham. Okay. Let me now show typical exam requirements. What does a typical ACCA exam requirement look like? There is going to be data analysis of spreadsheets as well as their interpretations. You will be required to analyze and use virtual aids like flowcharts and process maps. There will be problem identification that you will be required to make as well as a resolution of the same. You will be making supported recommendations. You will be drafting reports, memos, letters, articles, etc. forms of written business communication. We'll be drawing up some presentation slides along with accompanying notes as well. So this is the paper that you're heading into. Believe you me, it says strategic business leader is the name of the paper, right? That is what you're expected to be. You're expected to be a leader working for a company as a management consultant, trying to resolve actual business-like problems which the business may be facing. You will be required to, interpret data, analyze visual aids, read spreadsheets, interpret them, identify problems, give solutions for them. You will be able to, you will be required to prepare reports, required to prepare drafts, memos, emails, PowerPoint presentations to the CEO. Yes, these are the typical requirements which you will be required to make in your ACCA SBL exam. So yes, you're no more a student now. You are a management consultant. You're a strategic business leader, acting and giving advice to a company which we will be tested upon. That is the kind of skill set. That is the kind of professionalism you are expected to display in your SBL paper. So yes, even though this may all sound very, intimidating because this is like the first lecture only, but why I'm telling you all of this today itself, because I want you to, your mind to start preparing yourself for what we are heading into from the first lecture itself. So I'm going to put things bluntly. I'm going to tell you that, yes, it's a difficult exam to pass. It's, a very unique exam to pass. You will have to prepare from today itself if you want to pass in the next 3 months your SBL paper. So no, just trying to, okay, I'll do it later. I'll do question practice later. No, that is not going to click. What you're required to do is start doing what I'm telling you to do from today itself. So the first thing we're going to start off today is the EPSM module. 20 hours. You can obviously do that in tranches. You don't have to sit for straight 20 hours to complete this, EPSM module. But yes, you have to finish off these 20 hours of online training before you book your SBL paper. Also, what you're required to do is purchase books, please. So let me just put that down in the chat box for everyone. So BPP workbook plus practice and revision kit. Everyone has to purchase this. Please reach out to the team at PG Learning. Let me note down the number of the concerned person. You can reach out to Sandeep on this number and please go ahead and purchase these books. Great going for those who have already bought the books. Ayush says, I'm a qualified CA and appearing for ACC exam for the first time. Is it a good idea to appear for SBL along with AFM in September, or should I be focusing only on SBL? Please, Ayush, focus only on SBL. SBL itself is literally like, 2 exams that you will be appearing in one single go. So I don't want you to, waste your money in paying for 2 ACC exam fees, not, being able to find yourself enough time to be able to prepare for both the papers. So please, only SBL if you're doing SBL. Dipali, if you have Kaplan study text and kit, well, it's okay. It's also an approved, ACCA content provider. But I would really, really recommend that you go ahead and, purchase the BPP practice and revision kits. The questions are exam standard. The questions are something which is, I personally prefer BPP content, and that is something that we will be going across in the class itself. I will be doing a lot of question practice, which will already be covering your Kaplan kits. So I would, what I want you to do is additional question practice from your BPP kits, please. I have a book which was for June. That's okay, Raghavendra. You can absolutely use the same book. No need to purchase another new book, right? Okay, wonderful. Okay, like I said, the exam is going to be one scenario running into pages and pages of information. But these pages and pages of information will be broken down into exhibits. So what you need to understand is that it will not be paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs of information given, but very logically broken exhibit. Each exhibit focusing on one typical subject area or, content really. So it could be based upon like a website page could be given, a newspaper report could be given, extracts from surveys could be given, extracts from competition analysis could be given, board minutes and meetings could be given, CEO and CFO specifications could be given, analysis of fraud could be given. But yes, every exhibit will have one set of information broken down logically, right? Dipali says, I will purchase it, but just the revision kit. Yeah, that's fine. But at least that's like the minimum that you need to buy, Dipali. Book for January 21. Well, there have been some syllabus changes, Romi. I would recommend that you purchase a new kit. We are, going to be appearing for the exam in September 22. So I don't want you to be referring to something which is like very, very old. So I would recommend you to please go ahead and purchase the latest book, please. Yeah. Okay. Like I said, SBL paper is different from any other ACC paper that you've already appeared for. So there is going to be technical knowledge tested here, but not just technical knowledge, but application of that technical knowledge is going to be tested in your SBL paper. You will be given a job role. So supposingly in the first overview itself, the examiner will give you a job role. So supposingly you become a management consultant being, approached by XYZ company to help them with their, business problems that they are facing. So yes, you have to step down in the shoes of a management consultant. If we start today, will we be able to sit for September 22? Absolutely, yes, Shilpi. So this particular batch, which we are starting off today, is for your September 22 attempt. You will be able to prepare for it. Just keep, don't procrastinate what I am asking you to do. Please, be regular with what I'm saying. Batch will end somewhere in the last week of August. Don't worry. I understand that all of you are working professionals, and that's precisely why these are weekend sessions. That's precisely why these are 5-hour-long sessions, so that I am here to support you in the maximum way possible to prepare yourself for the SBL paper. But not just only classes, the homework which I will give you, the additional questions which I will ask you to do, that is something which is very important for you to do simultaneously. So please just keep doing that. You will be able to, sit for your next paper. What is the standard last date for applying for exam entry in the standard route? Raghavendra, I think that would be somewhere, I'll just have to check. Maybe it will be 15th of July. I will have to check on the ACC calendar. Let me just do that simultaneously. Give me 1 second. Since you've asked, let me just double check and provide you with the exact date. Oops. Just bear with me, please. Just bear with me. Yeah, 2nd of August is what it is. Thank you, Saksham. Do we know the exam date for SBL in September? Yes, that would also be available on the ACCA's website. So you can definitely reach out. It would be somewhere around in the first week of September. Right? Okay, so let me go back to my full screen mode then. Right. I already mentioned that you will be tested upon 5 professional skills, 20 marks for just displaying these professional skills. These are 5 professional skills: professional skill of communication, professional skill of commercial acumen, of analysis skill, of skepticism, as well as evaluation. Now, what are these professional skills? How do you exhibit these professional skills? How will you be gaining marks for these professional skills is what question practice will bring to you. It is something that you don't have to learn separately, but it is something that you have to imbibe while writing your 80 technical skills marks. That the way you're presenting your 80 professional skills marks is what will help you get these 20 professional skills marks as well. So even though they are marked separately, it is not like you have to prepare like a separate paragraph for your professional skills marks. No, it will be awarded on the basis of how you've written for your remaining 80 technical skills marks. So what are these professional skills? What does each one of these skills actually mean? Let's quickly understand what these professional skills, 5 professional skills actually stand for. Now, before I actually run it through you like this, what I want to do is open up and show you some of the resources which are available on ACCA's website. So accglobal.com, I hope everybody knows the website, right? You go under students, you go under study support resources. You select your qualification ACCA. Okay, let me just show you. So this is also somewhere where you can log on to your EPSM module. I think someone asked, right? So let me just show. So you could log it out from here, or you could just log it from your MyACC account directly. I've just shared the link with everyone. Right? So that is something which is very important. Please make sure, see, just read this, please. Students who've completed the EPSM prior to sitting a strategic professional exam, especially the SBL exam, were 19% more likely to pass the exam. So yes, please increase your chances of clearing your SBL paper by at least 19% if you have done your EPSM module. So I want every one of you to do this, right? Okay. So I am going to just show you some study support resources available from ACCA, absolutely free of any cost, which you must look. So SBL paper is what we are looking into. I am just going to share this link with everyone. So that's your link for the free study support resources. See, again, it says that it had, people who've done the EPSM module have 20% better success rate for their SBL paper. So please, I don't know how many times could I actually, reiterate the fact that you have to do it. Okay, so here we are. These are all the resources which are available from ACCA, absolutely free of any cost for you to help you prepare better for your SBL paper. So let's quickly analyze the pass rates for SBL. March 21, 50%, June was only 46, September was 51, December 51, March 50%, which means on an average, only 50% of the students who appear for the SBL paper pass, because the average pass percentage is only 50%. So which 50% do you want to be in? The ones who pass or the ones who fail? Because you are here in the class, that is your first step of making sure that you are amongst the 50% who obviously pass the paper. So what I will do to ensure that you come in the 50% who pass the paper is that you listen to what I'm saying, you concentrate and follow the advice which I am giving. If you do that, I can assure that you will be in the 50% of the students who pass the paper. Right? So just be please honest to yourself. That's all really that I want from my students. Okay. So what do we have here? I'm just going to show you. So all of this is something which is, that you have to go through. But let's first begin with having a look at these professional skills marks. What are these professional skills? Let me just show you what these professional skills are to begin with. Let me just share the sound. So what do you suggest? What should Anna be doing? Tell me. Research, yes. So let's go in for market research. Okay, so I'll choose option. Okay, so which one would you choose? Okay, so I see few of you are confused in option A, option 1 and option 2, right? That's absolutely fine. You could arrange a formal meeting with the bank, bringing obviously along a full business case. So what you're doing is you're fixing up a formal meeting, trying to bring up a full business case in terms of what is it that is going to be requiring for you to be able to approach and, you know, get this done really. One will be best in, but two is also not bad. Yes, so, you know, you always, as a finance manager, as a strategic business leader, you will always be required to make options. You will always be required to, you know, make decisions as to what do you think that, you know, is going to be best. So, okay, let's go in for option 1 to begin with. What is required then? Tell me, which one would you choose? You've already arranged a formal meeting. I think we did that, isn't it? Maybe it's just, you know, coming thing, although this is something that you should actually not be doing. think it's just got stuck somewhere. I don't know how many times I've actually done that. Selected the right option. Okay, so next skill now, skepticism. Come on, tell me. Let's choose 2 then. Decisions, be skeptical, research, review what you're doing. Okay, let's have a look at evaluation then. Come on, tell me. Which one should you choose? One says Anju, Saksham, Ayush, Sumit, Romi. Okay, wonderful. Everybody says 1, so let's go in with 1. Wonderful. Commercial acumen, what is going to click in the industry? Basic knowledge. Going for? Okay, so 2 says most of you, so let's go ahead with 2. Wow, what a wonderful video to introduce the subject as well as the professional skills which you will be required to make as a strategic business leader in your business really. So even if it's a small business like selling muffins, or a big, huge business, that you probably, running a petrol pump or an aircraft industry or a nuclear power industry. Yes, you will be required to make use of all these professionals, 5 professional skills, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur. And that is what the SBL paper is going to prepare you for. One more, if possible, later in the session. You mean a video? Raghuvendu, you mean a video like this? Absolutely. Don't worry. I will be showing you lots and lots of scenarios and case studies and interactive videos like this to help you prepare for your SBL paper. So now that we have literally, just seen what the paper, what the skills are like and how do we actually apply them and why do we need to actually learn to apply them, because if you want to be a successful entrepreneur or a business, you need to be able to make these 5 important professional decisions in your business. So now let's have a look at each one of these skills one by one. Begin with what are professional skills to begin with. Let me just show you one more. Okay, let me go on full screen.
As you start to find out about the new Strategic Business Leader exam, you will see that one of its most important features is that 20 of the 100 marks available are allocated to professional skills. The exam integrates technical and professional skills in tasks that will require you to apply your technical knowledge in the context of the case and to demonstrate one of 5 specific professional skills specified in the syllabus. Let's look at these skills. Communication means expressing yourself clearly and convincingly. Depending on the requirements, you may have to inform, persuade, or clarify. Commercial acumen means having awareness of the wider business and external environment and using judgment and insight in reaching appropriate solutions. Analysis means investigating, making inquiries, and considering your findings. You will have a wide range of information to analyze in the case exhibits so that you can make the most appropriate recommendations. Skepticism. In common sense terms, being skeptical means not taking information at face value. In the exam, this involves probing deeply into issues and problems, questioning facts and challenging information to establish the real picture of what's going on. And finally, evaluation means carefully assessing information given to you to make the best decisions. It can include estimating future trends or likely implications for the organization and appraising these in a balanced way before making a recommendation. The examining team also wants you to demonstrate general professionalism, including making the most important points, not repeating points, and addressing the requirements as written. When you start studying for SBL, you must practice the skills alongside the technical aspects. We encourage you to seek tuition from an approved learning partner, whose tutors will be integrating skills development into their teaching. Question practice with feedback on your answers is vital, so that you can build up confidence in your ability to apply the skills. The marking schemes in the specimen exams show how the skills are assessed. You'll see that each skill is described in terms of how they should be demonstrated in each task. To start developing your professional skills, make sure you work through the Ethics and Professional Skills module. You should do this before attempting any of the strategic professional exams, especially SBL. Find other great resources to support you with professional skills in the SBL section of the ACCA website. Start preparing today.
Okay, so let me just go back to my normal screen. Okay, So Romy says it's really interesting rather than traditional concept of checking how much data you can store in mind. Absolutely. So this is not going to be about reiteration of, the book. Not required. What is going to be required is, are you able to apply those models, that knowledge that you will be getting in the classes to the scenario, to the real life scenario which has been given to you. So absolutely, like I said, it is the most unique papers that you will probably ever be doing in your entire, career span. So please take it as an interesting, as a challenge that you are a strategic business leader, you're a management consultant, working in a company, and you are there to resolve problems of the company. Please do that, right? Okay, let me now show you each one of these skills to begin with. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is have a look at the first skill of communication. So let me show you what communication skill is all about. Let me just go on a full screen first.
Communication in the workplace is about being able to speak to different stakeholders. They could be your manager, someone who works for you, a client, a supplier, or one of your colleagues. When having a conversation, we would adapt the way we speak according to who that person is. Similarly, if we needed to send an email to someone or draft a memo to staff, we would always think about the audience when drafting the communication. We would think about the tone, the language, the level of detail, etc. Communication requires you to inform your intended audience in a clear and persuasive manner through the appropriate medium while being sensitive to their needs. In order to express yourself convincingly and show credibility, you must have a good understanding of what your audience will regard as important, what concerns they need to address, and the level of understanding the audience has, both of technical issues and of the current situation. You will be expected to produce material in a variety of formats, such as reports, memos, emails, and presentation slides, and will need to know good practice for each. The main response formats can be found in an article on effective communication on the ACCA website. In your exam, you may be asked to do a slide presentation, including relevant bullet points and supporting notes, to your company's board, highlighting the key benefits of using big data analytics for your company. The first step in structuring your answer is to identify and apply the appropriate presentation format. In this case, you will need to draw up a slide template with a clear header, followed by a bullet list and a separate section for accompanying notes. As you are addressing the company's board, you can assume that they have an adequate understanding of the business and its current needs, so the slides do not need to focus on background or definitions. This audience should be addressed using a respectful business tone. Once you have established your presentation format, you should then list the key benefits of big data analytics on the slide in short bullet points in order of priority and logic. Use the notes section to then elaborate and explain why the points on the bullet list are regarded as important benefits. Remember to present your answers in a professional manner, making points logically and progressively, avoiding repetition, as well as generally being clear, factual, and concise. In your exam, when you are required to demonstrate communication skills, ask yourself 3 questions. What is the required medium of delivery, and what template should I use to present my answer in the most professional format? what is my audience's level of understanding and how much information do they need? And finally, have you made your points in a logical and progressive order?
Okay, so that is communication skill for you. So what you have to do is inform concisely, inform objectively, inform in a very clear and in an unambiguous manner. Obviously be sensitive to, in terms of the tone that you are using. You cannot be blunt, you cannot be rude. You have to be always communicate in a manner in which you are in which who is your intended audience. So clarify, give simple simple solutions in a clear and concise manner, and be able to persuade with compelling and logical arguments in terms of what you're trying to say and how you are trying to communicate yourself. Is communication professional skill okay with everyone? Any doubts on this? Do you all understand what communication professional skill talks about? Tell me. Wonderful. Thank you for the confirmation. Before we actually move on to the next one, let's take a quick break. Let's take a quick break for, say, 15 minutes. Break? Yes, Ashish, there was a break. I think, yeah, your connectivity got lost, right? Okay. So let's move on to the next professional skill of commercial acumen. Now, what does commercial acumen mean? It simply means that you are looking at, you are aware, you are making correct business decisions. You're able to demonstrate your awareness, not just only about what's happening within the organization, but also, external factors that are going to impact your business. You're able to use sound judgment to be able to make correct decisions in terms of the industry practices, in terms of the trends of the industry, in terms of the expectations and, the forecast, which not just only your business is showing, but also what the industry is showing. So yes, it's showing, it's, looking at insights, it's looking at perception of understanding work related as well as organizational issues, being able to manage. All of that comes as your skill of commercial acumen. Let me very quickly show you a short video on this as well. Okay, so we are on commercial acumen. Let me just go on full screen first and add the subtitles in.
A professional accountant must possess a range of professional skills, and you must demonstrate these in your exam. These skills include commercial acumen, which basically means you should make commercially sound decisions when resolving issues and exploiting opportunities. As part of this, you must show awareness of the external environment in which an organization operates. To show commercial acumen, you should demonstrate a combination of business awareness, effective judgment, and insight. In your exam, you may be asked to make recommendations to an audit committee of safeguards that could be implemented to reduce fraud levels at a rail company. To demonstrate commercial acumen, you must give a variety of recommendations that deal with the issue in different ways. Then, focusing on the individual recommendations themselves, consider these two alternatives to manage the risk that customers travel without paying for their journey. Firstly, the rail company could install ticket barriers at all major stations, or alternatively, the company could recruit a large number of ticket inspectors that will check every passenger's ticket. Which recommendation shows the best commercial acumen? Well, the ongoing staffing cost and potential delays and disruption caused by manual checking of tickets mean that this is probably not a practical long-term solution. Installation of ticket barriers is the better option. Finally, for this example, in order to maximize your professional skills mark, ensure you justify your recommendations demonstrating insight where possible. So, when recommending installation of ticket barriers, you could suggest that this would be subject to a cost-benefit analysis, which would include the time saving of automated barriers compared to manual ticket checking. Demonstrating commercial acumen is something that you will do as you answer the detailed requirements and will not be a separate section in your answer. To maximize your commercial acumen marks, consider the following 3 points. Focus on a variety of matters which will be affected by the issue in the question. Focus on relevant areas only, otherwise it will waste time and make you appear unprofessional. Finally, make sure any recommendations are feasible and always try to consider people as well as numbers. It's people that achieve the numbers.
Okay, so that's professional acumen for you, commercial acumen for you. Does everybody understand this? Any doubts in this? Please feel free to ask. Just go down. Any doubts, guys? You all understand what commercial acumen means? Wonderful. Thank you for the confirmation. Let's move on to the next professional skill that you will be required to display in your SBL paper, which is analysis. So when you're required to analyze something, what does that mean? Analyze from where? Obviously from a wide range of sources. Analyze as well as interpret. Analyze with the help of techniques like ratio analysis. Analyze with the help of, comparison in terms of performance, or, and compare it to the last year, compare it to industry standards, compare it to your forecast, and be able to, investigate as to what is happening, inquire as to, what more needs to be done, and obviously consider information which is being given to you to make sure that you're able to apply it in terms of being, being able to make decisions which are in the best interest of the organization. So analysis is something which is equally important. Let's quickly have a look at an example of analysis. Okay, let me just find out where is your analysis. Here it is. Let me just go on a full screen first. Switch on the subtitles.
Analysis is one of the key professional skills on which you'll be tested in your exam. Analysis means logically investigating and processing information to respond to a question or request, or to meet a stated objective. To demonstrate effective analysis, you need to be able to compare information, explain why a certain piece of information is important, and explain the implications of the information. For example, in the exam, you may be asked to prepare a report to the board that reviews the performance of a company over the past 3 years. Let's say you are provided with management accounts and minutes of board meetings for the past 3 years, annual customer survey results, and a recently published industry research report. How would you use the information provided to review company performance whilst demonstrating sound analysis skills. Let's follow a logical approach. Firstly, the management accounts are provided for a reason. Use the numbers to calculate ratios and other financial performance measures. What do the results show? Use the board minutes to help you discuss the financial performance data, providing comments and possible explanations. Next, what do the results of the customer survey suggest? Are customers happy or are they dissatisfied? Is there a risk that the company will lose customers in the future? And finally, what about the external performance of the business? Use the recently published industry report to compare the company performance against industry-wide data. What does it show? Is the company performing well in comparison to its competitors? It's vital to use all the information available to you to ensure you are able to give a well-rounded assessment of company performance in your report to the board. Ensure you allocate sufficient time to review each exhibit. In the exam, when you are required to demonstrate analysis, ask yourself 3 questions. What information is available? Use numerical information to perform calculations to support your analysis. How does the information compare? From one year to another or to competing business or industry average? What does the information mean? Consider the impact it will have on the business.
Okay, so that was analysis. Does everybody understand the analysis skill? So you're required to analyze a situation. You're required to probe more deeply into what's happening, what could possibly more be required, investigate, inquire, as well as consider information, right? Wonderful. Let's move on to the next one then, talking about skepticism. Now, what do you understand by the term skepticism? Ever heard of it? I'm sure you all knew, you've already heard of the remaining terms, but what is skepticism? What is being skeptical? So tell me, Raghavendra, what is it? Being skeptical about something means, yes, having a questioning mind. Don't just accept things as are being told to you. Don't just, accept data or information as is being presented to you. Is it valid enough? Is it genuine? Is it the right thing to say or not? That is what is being skeptical all about. You're looking at, you're deeping in, you're probing in more deeply whether this is truth or not. Yes, Ayush, not accepting things at their face value. However, whenever you're being skeptical, please make sure that you're not challenging somebody's integrity. You cannot go ahead and say in the exam that, I think the finance director is saying a lie. No, you don't say that, right? What you do and how you question, and how you present your skepticism is in the fact that let's challenge the statement made by the finance director. Let's try and verify the statement made by the finance director, whether it does it sound or is it supported by facts and figures or not. So please, be very, very courteous whenever you are displaying a skepticism skill. Probe in deeply, question the facts which has been presented, but challenge information in a courteous manner at all times. So let's look at what skepticism is. I'm just looking for skepticism.
As in the real world, during your exam, you'll face a substantial amount of information in various forms. Can you be sure that the information is correct, truthful, or complete? You can't. That's why you need to be skeptical. Skepticism is crucial in the world of accountancy and is one of the key professional skills on which you'll be tested. To demonstrate effective skepticism, you should show a combination of probing, questioning, and challenging. In your exam, you may be required to review and comment on information given by a finance director at a monthly board meeting. Don't simply accept everything that the finance director has said. Is there evidence that supports or conflicts with the views of the finance director? If the board meeting minutes claimed that the audited annual accounts show an increased profit of 52% to 120 million due to a cost control initiative led by the finance director, what would be the most appropriate of these three elements to challenge? Well, the audited accounts have been reviewed by an independent third party, which provides sound evidence of the validity of the numbers. Therefore, it would be the reason given by the finance director for the profit growth that would be the most appropriate element to challenge within your answer. Moving on, how would you then question the finance director's reasoning? Would you accuse the finance director of bias and demand evidence to back up their claim? Clearly not. However, it would be appropriate to request further details from the finance director that support his explanation within your answer. This would be an acceptable example of professional behaviour. Professional accountants should be able to challenge views given at all levels within the business. Remember, we don't assume that everything is wrong or that everyone is lying to us, but also don't take everything at face value. In your exam, when you're required to demonstrate skepticism, ask yourself 3 questions. Is there sufficient evidence to support the claims being made? If not, what further evidence is needed to verify or challenge those claims? When you challenge, have you done so in a professional and courteous way?
Okay, so let's move on to the next one then. And the next one is going to be talking about evaluation. So how do you evaluate a situation? How do you assess the information which has been given to you? How do you, assess the problems which could possibly be there in the organization? How do you evaluate that? What would be the possible results of this problem having, so estimate the trends as well as apprise the facts, the opinions which have been given to you and make suitable recommendations for you to be able to resolve the situation which has been given to you. That is what is called your evaluation skill. Are you able to evaluate situation? Are you able to evaluate what has been presented to you in terms of the information given to you? So let's very quickly have a look at evaluation skill. Okay, there we are. We just go on a full screen.
Effective evaluation is a required skill of a professional accountant, both in the real world and in your exam. It can be demonstrated across 3 areas: by assessing and using professional judgments when considering issues or problems facing the organisation in the exam scenario, estimating trends and making reasoned forecasts of the implications of potential decisions available to the organisation, appraising facts, opinions and findings objectively with a view to balancing the costs, risks, benefits and opportunities before recommending solutions or decisions. In your exam, you may be asked by the Board of Directors to write a business case, which evaluates a potential significant investment in a new IT system. You should start by assessing the current situation and the potential need for the new system. For example, is there evidence of problems with the current system which may be reducing the quality of service provided to customers? This should lead on to discussing the resulting benefits of a new system. For instance, a better experience for customers, leading on to improved financial performance. Wherever possible, you should estimate or forecast the actual impact on areas such as revenue and profitability. In order to present a balanced argument, you need to consider any downsides to the investment. This may include risks associated with financing the venture, so you could appraise the accessibility and cost of finance relative to the current status of the organisation. Finally, your business case would make a recommendation to the board on whether to proceed with the investment in the new IT system or not. Remember, you will score marks for a sensible recommendation as long as it's supported by your arguments. So, the best ways to give your overall answer a strong structure and to demonstrate the skill of evaluation are to create a balanced argument. Use headings such as advantages and disadvantages, or benefits and risks to make sure you cover both sides of the issue. Create a broad argument. Just using information or ideas from one area isn't enough. Consider financial and non-financial issues across different relevant requirements. Conclude or recommend. As we saw in our example, you are likely to be asked to evaluate a proposal, and the audience want to know whether they should go ahead. Tell them your opinion, and back this up by summarising the key advantage or disadvantage, or benefit or risk.
Okay, so we're done with this as well. Any doubts? Anything anybody would like to ask regarding the 5 professional skills that we have done? Obviously, what would be required for you to do is to be able to apply these professional skills in the way you are presenting your answer. It will not be like a separate paragraph that you're writing on evaluation, on skepticism. No, that is not what you have to do. The way you are presenting your remaining 80 marks, the technical skills, will determine whether you will get your professional skills, displaying professionalism in the form of communication, skepticism, evaluation, analysis, as well as the 5 skills that we have done already. So that is how you have to present your answer. Now let's go ahead and just watch the 4-hour exam that you are heading into. How do you cope yourself for this 4-hour long, tedious, mind-draining exam that you will be heading into? Yes, you must read it like a story. Please read it as if, you are literally living the story. You're literally a management consultant practically. And this is what is happening around you in the company that we're talking about. How would you present? How would you be able to, resolve the practical problems that the company is facing? That is what is required. Once you put yourself really in the shoes of the management consultant, that is when your, the real form of your answers, the presentation of your answers will also be improvising upon. So what you're required to do is drink water in between. Please keep yourself hydrated, stretch your arms, rotate your wrists. So, you keep that blood flow going into your body. Don't fall numb in these 4 hours. Take a leg break for a few seconds. Like, you can stretch on your legs so that body's blood circulation again keeps on moving. You could literally, close your eyes for a second, refocus, meditate for a second, and then, grab all your thoughts together. You could change your posture a little bit in terms of how you're sitting in the exam to be able to cope up for those 4 hours. And definitely, please always remember that, there will be lots and lots of information given to you in the scenario already. What you literally have to do is pick up this information from the scenario, organize it in the form of models and, the application of the technical knowledge that you will be doing, that you will be learning, and apply it. Be able to organize that information, presenting and focusing upon the information on the requirement of the task which has been presented to you. So just take it like that, follow it like a story, put yourself in the shoes of the role which has been given to you, and then just present your answers like a strategic business leader. You're no more a student, you are a strategic business leader, working in an organization, presenting practical solutions to the scenario which has been given to you. Please follow this advice while writing your answers. Believe you me, the quality in the presentation of your answers will definitely improve once you have that mindset on you, right? Any questions? Anything anybody would like to ask? Because now what I want you to do is read through some of the issues which students have faced in the past who have failed the SBL exam. So you will not be doing any of these. Why? Because we will be making sure that all these issues get resolved from day one only. So quickly go through your slide, please. No, it's not an open book exam, Raghuvendra. The book will not be open. Information will very much be there in the scenario already, but application of that information, presentation of those, that information into logical business models and application of your professional skills is something that you have to learn to apply. Right, Raghuvendra? Okay, quickly read through the issues in SBL, please. Make sure you don't have any of these issues. If we have to give the exam from center, yeah. My advice to all the students would be to please go ahead and book your center-based exam only and not a remote-based exam, because we really don't want to worry ourselves about technical glitches happening in the exam. Better to, just be safe at the center and be able to apply, just concentrate on the exam rather than worrying about technical issues happening, internet speed, all of that. So if there is the option, depending obviously upon the COVID situation, and ACCA is providing you with the option, please go ahead and book your center exam. Do not wait for the last day to book your exam. Why? Because then centers get filled and students are forced to book their remote exam. So I don't want you to be in that category, please. From where we can get the center detail, it will be, everything is there on the ACCA's website. So go under your exam planner, and when you book your exam, it will give you a drop down of the centers available. So just choose your nearest center, please. Right, Sumit? Okay. So few of you mentioned that you have given, an ACCA exam previously. So you're all obviously aware of the CBE platform. That is a computer-based exam, which it is going to be. However, like I said, ACCA SBL exam is unlike any other exam. So please, even if you are familiar with the platform, even if you've done an exam previously on the computer, please make sure that you are not You're able to resolve all of these issues in the CBA exam which generally students face, which includes not being familiar with the computer or the software on which the exam will be appearing, not being, being able to understand how this platform literally works, not planning your answers properly, or not being able to use the functionalities of the platform. So what we have to do is that we have to make ourselves familiar with the CBE practice platform, again, which is available from ACCA free of any cost to all of you on the ACCA's platform itself. So CBE practice platform is what I want everybody to, have a look at and familiarize yourself with how an exam looks like and how you will be able to appear for exams on it. Okay, so Raghavendra says, if you attended live class, will we get the confidence by August? Not questioning your teaching, but regarding our preparational level, as exam fees is very costly, I was planning to give mock before paying the exam fees. Kindly give your insights how to gain confidence by August. So like I said, Raghavendra, by end of August, our syllabus will be complete. But from day one, that is today, what I will want each one of you is to start preparing yourself for the exam. How does that happen? Today, what we will do, we will familiarize ourselves with the format of the exam. We will be familiarizing ourselves with how to basically, what the exam is going to be like. What are we basically diving into? We will familiarize ourselves with the CBE practice platform in terms of what the exam is going to look like and what are the possible answers, the spreadsheet option given to you, the word processor option given to you, the slide option given to you. How are you going to be able to tackle each one of them? So simultaneously, as we move along the classes, you will be preparing, and definitely by August, you will absolutely all have the confidence as long as you're doing what I'm asking you to do simultaneously, please. Do not wait for the syllabus to end and then start preparing. No, it is not going to be sufficient enough. Why? Because literally, like a week before the exam, we will be able to finish our syllabus. So we really, really have to be continuous and simultaneous in our question practice. Right, Raghavendra? Ayush says, if we book center-based exam and later for some reason want to change it to remote, will it be possible? Yes. Before the last date of the exam entry, you can always amend your exam entry. Again, under your exam planner, you can always do that. But just before the last date to book your exam. Right? Sumit says, what we need to do along with regular classes so we feel confident for appearing the exams. Yes, absolutely, Sumit. So what you need to do is, like I said, purchase your BPP practice and revision kits. As soon as we are done with the topic, on our, on my slides, I will tell you the relevant questions that you can log on to your practice, to your practice and platform and your practice and revision kits. Do those questions, please. And absolutely no pen and paper. Whenever you're doing a paper, whenever you're doing question practice, you have to write down on the computer. Make yourself familiar with the computer-based exam, please, because ultimately that is what you will be appearing for. So please make sure that you are absolutely not picking up a pen and paper to practice for your SBL paper. No, absolutely no. Always pick up your blank workspace from your CBE practice platform and practice questions from there. So please do that, right? How to access that, I will just show it to you. Just give me 1 minute. BPP kit and your lectures sufficient for the exams? Well, nothing really is sufficient because of the exam that it is. You have to do BPP kit each and every question from the kit. You have to absolutely do each and every lecture which I am going to be taking. You have to do at least 6 mock exams from the practice platform. At least 3 of them under timed environment, like, give yourself 4 hours like a mock exam and do those 3 mock exams on the practice platform. Go through the technical articles, go through the examiner's report, do all of that. And that is when, and the EPSM module, obviously, and that is when I will say that, yes, you are exam ready. Yes, you will be getting the recording of the lecture. If you miss a live class, the LMS will be, updated by, like a week after the class, and you will be able to access the recording of the class, right? So everything will be there given to you 100%. But my recommendation, my sincere advice to you is to please try and make it to the live class. Okay, yeah, practice is what I have to say to you to be able to pass your ACCA SBL exam. Now, these are the IDs on which you can reach out to me. Please take a note of them. The first is my official email ID. The second one is my personal one. Please mail me on my official email ID, because the personal one I sometimes skip to, check. But my official ID definitely gets checked every day. So please, if there's anything that you want to reach out to me for, this is my ID. I hope you've all been added to the WhatsApp groups. I hope everybody is all added onto the WhatsApp group for SBL. If there's anybody who's not added onto WhatsApp group, please call or message Sandeep is the concerned person. For books and for WhatsApp group, I want everybody to be added onto the live WhatsApp group for your September 22 SBL exam, so that if you have any queries, anything, we are all there to support each other, right? So please reach out to Sandeep in case you've not been added to the WhatsApp group as yet. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is show you the CBE practice platform. I'm going to show you what an actual exam is going to look like. Let me just give me a moment, please. Let me just log on to the CBE practice platform and show you what the actual exam looks like. So this, you all have access to this under your MyACCA account, please. So just open it up. This is just my personal ID. You all have your username, passwords. Log on. Apologies. Okay, so we have our candidate account. So this is the only account that you will obviously have. So this is what the CBE practice platform will be looking like for each one of you. You can all access it via your MyACCA account. Let me just show it to you as well. Okay. What I will do is I will show you from where you can log on to this as well. You obviously can apply directly from your MyACCA account. Bear with me, please. Or we'll just show you one more place. Okay, so this is your CBE question practice, ACCA practice platform. You can log on to your practice platform from here as well. I'm just sharing the link with everyone. The link is on the chat box. Okay, this is what the practice platform looks like. This is from where you can actually log on to it. Obviously, you can log on to it from your MyACCA account directly as well. Now, let me first show you a very quick video onto the introduction of your CBE exam. Okay, so this is just a quick introduction video which I want everybody to have a look at.
There are a series of initial instruction pages. You have 10 minutes to read these before the exam automatically begins. This is the main screen in your digital workspace. It contains an introduction to the case study and lists the exhibits you will use to complete the tasks within the exam. The numbers match the exhibits on the left-hand side of the workspace. This screen can be resized using the splitter bar. This is your exhibit list. Clicking on each one opens it in a new window. You can close exhibits by clicking on the X. These are your tasks, which open and close in the same way. And these are your response options, where you will answer the task requirements. Word processor, spreadsheet, and slides. You can move and resize the exhibits, tasks, and response option windows. Let's explore other functionality within the workspace. Currency symbols are accessed by selecting the symbol button. You can highlight information within the exhibits and tasks in a variety of colours. Choose the text you wish to highlight and select your colour. You can also strike through text. Select the required text and click on Strike Through. You can remove both of these annotations by selecting the relevant text and clicking on Strike Through a second time, or by selecting Remove Highlight. There is an on-screen calculator that you can switch between standard and scientific mode. Most students choose to bring their own calculator to the real exam. This is permitted, providing it does not have the facility to store or display text. There is a scratch pad where you can make notes. These are retained throughout the exam. However, they are not submitted for marking. You can close all open windows by selecting Close All on the main screen in your digital workspace. Any answers you've entered into the response options or highlighting you've done on the tasks or exhibits will be saved. There is a Flag for Review button and a Navigator button. However, as there is only one case study question in SBL, you are unlikely to use these. This button gives you access to guidance on how to use the workspace, as well as a copy of the exam instructions. When you've finished the exam, click Next at the bottom of the workspace. You'll see the item review screen, which confirms that you have attempted the case study. To return to the exam, click on Review All or Case Study. Click End Exam to submit your answers and confirm you wish to do so. A confirmation screen signals the end of the exam.
Okay, so yes, that is what the paper is going to be like. That is what your CBE practice platform is going to help you familiarize yourself to the exam. Okay, so what I'm going to do is show you a few support videos on question practice on the CBE platform. We will have a look at this one, but before that, what I want you to have a look at is how to approach it. After this, we will be logging on to our platform and having a look at this. So these are some extra videos which I want everybody to please have a look at as part of your homework for today. You can see the exam dates on the ACCS website only. I will just show it to you. Just give me a moment. Okay, let me just show this to you first.
We're currently looking at the dashboard, and this is what you'd see if you access the platform via the student portal. On the top left of the screen, you can see that we've got various tabs. We're currently on the Home tab, and we'll look around this in more detail in a moment. Next to that, we've got the Mark tab, and this is where you can mark answers that you have completed. The Results tab is where you can see those marked responses, whether you've marked them yourself or perhaps your tutor may have marked some answers for you. And the Performance tab is where you can review your progress across the various tests that you have completed. I do want to call your attention to the help functionality or the user guidance. So if you were to access the question mark icon towards the top right hand side of the screen, you can see that this brings up the user guide, and I'd recommend the frequently asked questions area here. So if you select that, you can see that you've got a bit of detail on some of the main areas of the platform. A lot of it we're going to cover in this demonstration, but this user guidance, the FAQ section, does contain a little bit more detail. So if you're working your way through the platform and you're not sure how something works, would definitely recommend that you have a look at the user guidance. Okay, let's come back to the home page now. What we're looking at the moment on, I suppose, the left-hand side of the screen is our assigned material. This is empty, as you can see. Now, the reason it's empty is that I'm a member of staff at ACCA. I'm no longer a student, so I don't have a tutor that has assigned content for me. If, however, you're a student and you are studying with an approved learning provider, that approved learning provider may actually have their own version of the ACCA practice platform. And if that's the case and you've accessed the ALP version of the ACCA practice platform, your tutor may well have assigned you content to attempt. That could be a practice question, it could be a mock exam. And that would appear in this assigned material section on the main part of the screen that we're looking at now. But as I say, I'm not a real student. I don't have a tutor, and I therefore don't have any assigned material. Let's scroll down. Here we've got what we call the self-assigned material. And this is where I can access the content that's been made available by ACCA anytime that I wish to. And you can see that I've been having a look at some FM past exams and the blank workspaces that we'll have a look at in a moment. Now, this self-assigned material comes from the catalogue over on the right-hand side of the screen. Now, this catalogue, as you can see, covers all of the core applied skills and strategic professional exams, and we've just arranged them in alphabetical order. Now, all of these core applied skills and strategic professional exams have what we call ACCA-based content. And that consists of specimens and practice tests that are based on past exam content. And these will always be kept up to date for any syllabus changes. And you guys can access this catalogue content anytime you wish to. So you can access a specimen exam, you can attempt it, mark it as many times as you like. It's available on demand for you.
Okay, so yes, you're all now familiar with the practice platform. What does it look like? What is it that we are heading on to? Now, since we're already there, I've already shown you what the platform looks like. What I will be doing is just showing you an actual SBL exam of the past. Now, why do you think I'm doing that? This is the first lecture only, and I'm going to show you what an actual exam looks like. Why? Tell me. Tell me, come on. Familiarity, to get the feel of the subject. Yes, absolutely, to understand and, just be prepared from day one itself that, okay, this is what I have to prepare myself for in the next 2.5 months, right? Absolutely, right, Samit? Okay, so this is the SBL. These are the official resources from ACCA, some past exams, some practice exams, some specimen exams, as well as a blank workspace. So remember, what did I tell you? So whenever you're going to be practicing a question from your practice and revision kits, please open up this blank workspace here and put down your answer in this blank workspace. I do not want anybody to be using a pen and paper to practice any question at home. No, don't do that. Use this blank workspace. Why? Because it will help you increase your typing speed. It will help you familiarize yourself with the platform so that on the day of the exam, there are surprise and you know how to approach your SBL paper. To understand the exam pattern, absolutely right, Dipali, to understand the framework of the exam so that we know how we are supposed to prepare. Absolutely right, Anju. Okay, so what we will be doing now is that I will first show you a blank workspace. Okay. So what we have here is a blank workspace. I'm just going to be opening up a blank workspace for your SBL paper. And also we'll be having a look at a past exam as well. Let me show you past exam library. Let's take up, say, December 21, most recent. Okay, let me just assign that to myself. So as soon as I assign myself a paper, I go on to the left-hand side. And this is where the exam gets assigned to me. Okay. So we should practice book questions online rather than on paper. Absolutely no pen and paper practice, please. You can have a read on the question on your physical practice and revision kit, but your answers have to be written on the computer only, on the computer constructed response options, the blank workspace which is being given to you. This will not only make you familiar with how to type in your answers, will increase your typing speed, will make you, understand the pattern of how to answer, how to structure your answers as well, right? Okay, I'm just a little skeptical of the time. Okay, so what we will do now is, before I actually show you an actual exam and we go through an actual exam, let's take a quick lunch break. And then we shall come back and have a look at an actual exam and how to handle an actual exam. Okay, so there's lunch. Okay, everyone, I hope everyone's back from the break. Let's start with having a look at what an actual SBL exam is going to look like. I'm going to show you September, December 2021 actual exam. This is on the practice platform, so you can all very well attempt it as well. Obviously, you won't be able to attempt it as of now because you haven't done with the syllabus, but yes, sooner when you be nearing the syllabus, you definitely have to attempt this exam. What I want to show to you as of now is just what the exam looks like. Just bear with me. Okay, so the first page is always going to be this introduction page, which actually makes you familiar with what the exam is like. It's going to be a 4-hour timed period exam. Once you are done with the exam, you can end the exam, and on your practice platform, you can obviously self-mark your answers as well. Okay, so then it opens up your 4 sheets of instructions. Beginning from the first one, I want everybody to spare out 5 minutes and read these instructions, please. Quickly read. Let me know when you've finished reading. I'll scroll down. Quickly go through the instruction page, please. Read through the second page of instructions, please. I want everybody to please spare out a moment and read through this, please. Okay, done reading. Any doubts so far? Okay, couple of things. Let me just quickly answer. Answers will be saved automatically on its own. Yes, absolutely. It will be saved automatically on its own, and you can self-mark your answers as well. Okay, let's have a look at the other question. Are we allowed to carry own calculators in the exam? Yes, you're absolutely allowed to carry your own calculators. And in fact, you must carry your own physical calculators. Even scientific calculators are allowed, but the ones without memory function yet. So please do not rely on the calculator in the platform, even though it is there. You're allowed to carry physical calculators, so please carry your physical calculators. They're just more handy, and we are all used to carry, working upon our own physical calculators. Whether answer need to be given in workspace area, which will be within the task, or in separate Excel, Word, PPT. Yes, Romy, I will come to your question. I will show you for every set of question, what are the options available and how do we actually approach these options, right? So under which head should we actually approach these sections? Give me a moment. I'll come back to your question, Romy. Okay, so let me show you next one here. Working in Scratchpad for your rough workings. Quickly read through this. Okay, done reading. How many mocks need to be accustomed to this CV? At least 6 mock exams, Raghavendra, and 3 of which have to be done under timed environment. I know it must be sounding, too much to be done, but believe me, this is a paper which requires too much to be done as well. So please have a look at it. Yes, 6 at least, and 3 of them have to be time bound. So quickly have a look at it. Let's quickly proceed with the next page of instructions. Let me quickly open up the last page of instructions for you. There you are, quickly review it, and then we'll have a look at an actual exam. Okay, let me take up a few more questions. Something in the chat box. Does going past exam paper help in practice or practice exams? Absolutely, the most important thing that you have to do is you have to practice past exams. Not only does it give you, the standard of questions that are going to be tested, it also gives you how well you are in a position to attempt such exam standard questions. So that is something which is a must do, Dishali. How much marks we score should be available after submitting the exams, or like CA results will be out after some months. So how much marks you score will be declared a month and a half of the exam, after the exam. So for your September attempt, somewhere around the mid of October, your results would come. Right, Surbi? Okay, wonderful. So done reading, gone through all the instructions page. Okay, some important functionality which I want you to be familiar with, that how it is different in the practice exam platform versus the real life exam as well. So you should be definitely familiar with this as well. Done reading? Quickly, few more differences between the practice platform and what the actual exam is like. Very important for you to familiarize yourself with this. Done? Copy paste functionality is also available. Remember, it's computer based exam, right? So please make use of it. The first thing that you have to copy and paste on your answer sheet is obviously the question. So just Control C, Control V the question. The formatting will be removed. So you'll just have to format the question a little bit, and then you can start answering which particular requirement are you actually, addressing. Okay with everyone? Any doubts so far? Okay, computer feels I've not gone through the entire content, but I have. Okay with everyone? Shall we go through a live exam? 100-mark exam, 1 case study. Anything written on the scratch pad, that is your rough paper, will not be evaluated. Are you ready to begin the exam? Yes, very much we are. So this is, one of the live exam which was given to students who sat for this exam last year. So let's quickly have a look at what is there. So we have to copy questions with the case study also. Yes, always recommended. Why? Because the examiner knows which part of the question are you actually answering. I'll show it to you, Manika. Give me a moment. So this is the overview. We will not be going through the actual exam, obviously, but what I want you to have a look at is that this is what the exam is going to look like. So you have the overview here. The entire question is going to be broken down into, like this particular question is broken down into 8 exhibits here. You can click, open up every exhibit. Obviously, you can increase the size of these exhibits to be able to read properly. Then you have each exhibit talking about a different aspect of the scenario as to what is happening in the scenario, followed by tasks. Task 1 is for 28 marks, obviously broken down into several parts. So you have part A, in which you've got 2 subparts. You've got part B, in which you have 2 subparts again. So again, your task 1 itself is broken down into different parts. So what I meant by copying the question was just highlight like this. Copy that you are answering the part 1 of the A part of the question. So I just do Control C, open up my response option word processor, Control V, it's pasted already. I just correct the format and look how easy it is for the examiner to understand that this is exactly what you are referring to. What answer are you giving away? And then just type in your blah, 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 right? Is that okay with everyone? So just copy paste the requirement and then answer the requirement just below the requirement, right? Wonderful. Okay. So this was just few of the response options. So this is like a word processor to write down. A spreadsheet option is available, which is similar to an Excel platform in which you can make calculations. As far as your SBL syllabus will be concerned, you will be required to make use of the spreadsheet to calculate your ratios. So this is something in which you can refer to the spreadsheet. And then to be able to present your answers in a PPT format, that is a PowerPoint presentation, you have a response option of slides available to you. So what do? You write down slide 1 with the help of bullet points here. Bullet point 1, 2, 3, whatever. And then you just go down to the speaker note. You explain bullet point 1. Explain bullet point 2. Explain bullet point 3. Is any of you a working professional here? Will the spreadsheet be given of such a small size? No, you can absolutely increase the size of the spreadsheet. Shall see? So you go down here, you can increase the font size. You can increase the window size like this. That is why I say familiarity to the platform is very, very important. Right? So please do that. The more question practice you do, the more familiar with you will be with each aspect of how to basically, answer. Yes, and working in industry. So now, are you able to relate that this SBL exam is literally like, one of your on-the-job assignments? Do you feel so? Very true, says Raghavendra. Anju says yes, 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 says everyone. So yes, you are now becoming a strategic, professional leader working in an organization when you are appearing for your SBL exam, right? Any doubts? Anything anybody would like to ask regarding the exam, the pattern, the answer sheet, how to approach, what to do? Can we use different colors to highlight some text for better presentation, not just use one color? Well, ideally, colors are something which you should not be using. Highlight functionality is something which you can use to highlight your question paper really, but not in the answer. If in the exam we write currency in words instead of inserting symbol, will we be given marks? Yes, Dishali, you will be given marks. Right? Any other doubt? Because I've literally just introduced the subject to you and told you what we are heading into. Right? Any doubts? Anything anybody would like to ask? Because I'm going to finish off today's session here only. I don't want to bombard you with, and daunt you with too much information to begin with. Tomorrow, we will be starting off with our first chapter, our first session really, wherein we will be looking at the first technical content of our SBL syllabus. So today was just a brief up and an introduction about the subject to you. All the questions will be written in single file or different files, single file. So there is one word processor, which we will keep on scrolling down, right? Will classes be on national holidays too? Yes, why not, Raghavendra? The more you practice, the more you give yourself to ACCA, the more better prepared you will be. Being CA, what additional value from getting ACCA, or are we looking only with employment opportunities? You'll see the kind of dynamics and skills that ACCA is going to add to you. Believe you me, this is the first paper in the first session, right? So are you not, able to resonate with the fact that yes, this is something which is value adding to you as a working professional? Isn't it, Raghavendra? Absolutely. So if you are improvising upon your skill set, definitely, your career, your employment opportunities, everything is going to improvise. Wonderful. Okay, then thank you so much, everyone, for joining in today. I look forward to all of you being, constantly present in the live batches. This is something which will definitely, go a long way in preparing you best for the exam. I'm sorry, Raghavendra, this is not the right platform. This is an educational subject class that we're talking about here. Please log on to YouTube, Google search, and you can definitely, have some insights on the same. Here we will only talk about ACCA and our SBL paper. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for the wonderful feedback. And please, absolutely, always feel free to reach out to me, to give me any suggestions if you have. I know I'm always willing to improvise upon the way I teach. And I will be, more than happy to support and, just mentor you guys to be able to pass your paper. Thank you so much, everyone, for your kind words. Timetable will be weekends, every time on Saturday, Sunday, same time, 10:30 to 3:30. There could be few couple of sessions here and there on weekdays that we, look out as soon as we are able to, reach out and schedule our classes accordingly. Please buy your books. They will not be required per se for tomorrow's session, but the sooner you get it, the better, the early you will be able to practice questions, because tomorrow we're going to start off with a technical topic. Right, Tanveer? No questions today. The only thing you have to do is go to the study support resources on ACCA's website, which I have told you. Look at all those videos. Just familiarize yourself with the subject today. That's all your homework for today is. Right? Familiarize yourself with the practice platform, with all the videos and all the information given on the study support resources on the ACCA's website. Will you be sharing any notes so that we can read it before coming to the class? No, I will not be sharing notes before the class. I will be sharing notes after the class. And that is for you to revise. Before the class, just do the homework which I am telling you to do. Right? So we will not be going ahead, but we will be revising what we have done in the class. Yes, please start your EPSM modules today. Please, by far, this is the best step that you could do to your SBL preparation. Wonderful. Thank you, everyone, for your kind words. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.